Welcome back everyone. So in today's video I will be showing you how to install Apache NiFi on macOS environment. Alright, so we will go through the entire steps of how to install it on macOS. So I'll show you the steps that you need to follow in order to have this tool installed on your local machine. And towards the end, once we have it installed, I will show you how to log in and how the UI looks like. Alright, so before we jump into the steps, let me just quickly take you over to this NiFi documentation here. And so quickly at a very high level, NiFi is a web UI tool that you can use to transfer data from one system to another, right? So assume, let's say you have data in a database like Oracle and you want to move that data over to another database. Could be MySQL or PostgreSQL or I don't know, could be a data warehouse like Snowflake, SQL Server. Any system that you want to move data to from another system, you can use this tool. So this tool can connect to different systems, so you can connect to your source system and then move your data to another system as well. It could also be files. You can move like files from your local directory into a database, anything, right? So that is what this tool does at a high level, and you can also use it to automate those processes as well. So if you want to automate data movement, then this tool can also be useful. Okay, so let's go ahead and install this tool now. So there are a few ways that you can install this on Mac. So one of the ways is if you just go ahead and download this, it's going to you can download the installer. So you can download this and extract it on your local machine, and then just go ahead and point it, just set it up manually, and it's going to install it on your environment, right? But the way that we're going to do this in this video is to install it through Homebrew command. So we'll do that through the terminal, right? And so these are the steps that we'll be following in order to install this. So I listed here some steps that we can follow. To install this through the terminal, we can use a tool like Homebrew in Mac environment. So you can use the Homebrew package installer within your terminal, and then it's going to install this within your like system, right? So in order to have this installed, you do need to have Java. You don't need to have Java setup, the Java home setup in your local machine. So for our case, let's go actually and make sure that this one is set up before we go ahead and install it, right? But you can just go ahead and install the tool first and then set the Java home. But this step is kind of interchangeable, right? So let me go over here to terminal. All right, and let's do that. So let me just make sure that this one is zoomed in properly so you can see. Okay, so so if you do echo here, echo Java home, right? So you can see that I do have this location currently set. If you don't have it set for you, then you can do that within the users directory. That will be inside this folder here. It's CSHRC, like that, right? So if we refill the contents for that, C shell RC, this is what I currently have within that folder, and I have Java home right here, right? So all you need to do is just do export and then Java home and put the location of your Java, right? So if you put it like this, you should be good, and then go ahead and save this, and we should be good, right? So after that, the next thing then that we need to do is to basically go ahead and install the brew, the NiFi command. And then the way to do this is using brew command. Now if you've never used Homebrew before, then most likely it might not be available for you. In some cases, Apple, like when you buy your machine, it comes pre-installed. If you don't have it pre-installed, so you just check the version for brew, like version like this. You can see for me it's there. if it's not there for you, then you may need to install this, and to do that, I previously made a video on how to install Homebrew on your local machine. I will put a link for that video in the description. Just go ahead and install it. Again, Homebrew is a package installer within Mac that you can use to install software applications, right? So I have it installed for me, so let's go then and install this command, right? So I'm just going to go here and I will do brew install NiFi, right? So this is the command that we need to run, brew install NiFi, and that's going to install NiFi in our system. So before I do this command here, let's check if NiFi is actually installed. So I uninstalled it, so you can see it's not there now. So let's go ahead and install it now, right? So I'm going to then run this command, brew install NiFi. That's the command, and then we'll just go ahead and click run for this. So you can see now it's going to go to the internet and then pull that NiFi command, right? And then so it's going to install it, and when it's done, it's going to show at the bottom here that it is done installing. So let's let it run, and then it should not take long. So you can see here, yeah, so it is now installed. So let's go ahead and run that fashion command again. There we go. So it seems like it's at least able to find it. So it's not returning, like it's not able to find this command. So good. So we have the NiFi installed now, and then the next thing that we need to do is to go ahead and start, right? So we will start this. So if you just do NiFi start, that is going to start the service. But let's probably do NiFi status. So NiFi status says the command is up, and the location is 200. I'm not sure if by default it starts this. But let's go ahead and check at port. So this is where when you do this, it's going to be running on port 8443, right? So I'm going to go to this port and let's see if it's already up, right? Okay, so it's not. Okay, so that command might be misleading. So let's go ahead and do NiFi start now. So I'm going to do NiFi start, okay, and let's see what happens, right? Okay, so it is it runs in the background. When you do NiFi start, it runs in the background. This one is still showing us up, but basically when you do NiFi start, it's going to start in the background, and now you can see that Java home is listed here, and also this location for NiFi home is also listed as well, right? So to confirm if NiFi now is running, let's go ahead and let's check in the UI, right? So it again runs in 8443. Let's go ahead and refresh this page now, like so, right? Okay, so this one is still not running. Okay, so that one is still not running. Okay, so the issue here is looks like there was a previous process that was running, and looks like that is still in the background. So let's actually go ahead and stop that. So we'll run NiFi stop. Okay, so it's going to stop any previous version of NiFi that was running, and then we'll just go basically and start this again. So this is kind of like just restarting this application. Okay, so I'm going to start and restart it now, and then we will go to the front. We'll just go to that location again, right? And then we'll start it. So let's see what happens now. Okay, so you can see that it is now showing up as not secure. So we will go ahead and go to advanced here, and then we'll proceed because it's running on localhost. Okay, so at least now we are able to get to the login UI here, right? So it's asking us now for our username and password, right? So what is the password now for this, and what is the username? Okay, so for this there are two ways of doing this. So you do need to either set the username, right? Let's go back to that process. So we need to generate a username and password, or I have also read that if you go to the logs, right? If you go to NiFi logs, NiFi app log, and you search for this, you might be able to get some username and password. So maybe let's check with this first, and if we don't get this information, then we'll come back and set the credentials here, right? So so to do that, we'll go back here, and to get the logs, it will be inside this location here. Basically, inside here is where NiFi is running. So I'm going to copy that. We'll cd to that location, right? And then inside there we have logs. Okay. So and then we will so if you list these logs, we have this application nifi.app.log, right? And then what we need to do is basically to run this command to get the password, the username. So we'll run this grep generated username nifi app.log. Okay. So when you run that, you will see that we have this generated username. So this is a generated username that I believe comes by default, or a NiFi generates for us. We didn't generate that. So we'll copy that, and then we'll come back here and then paste it here. And then we can also do the same thing for the password. Okay, so we will do the same thing for the password, and we will paste it right here, right? Paste it right here. Hold on. I think that one is not correctly set. So it is grep. Okay. Grep generated password. There we go. Yeah. So this is, we just copy this value here, and then we bring it here, and then we go ahead and log in. Lovely. Okay, so you can see now that it has logged us in successfully using those login credentials. Okay, so that is one thing that I struggled last time a little bit in order to get the username and password, but it is inside the NiFi app .log, right? So you just go here and then grep generated username inside this, and then for the password you do the same thing, and then you will be able to log in. So you just use this information to log in, and it will log in for you. Now in scenarios where if you don't find that information, if you don't find that if you don't find those credentials, then what you can do is you can come back here and then do NiFi set single user credentials, and then you can just put the username here and then the password, and then you copy this and you run it, and then go ahead and use the username that you have set here and the password to log in, right? And that should also work fine. Okay, so I will, if this is your first time doing it, I will start with this option first, this one here, and then if you don't get anything here, there's some scenarios where if you run this, it's going to give you empty, nothing shows up. And in scenarios like this, just go ahead and run this command here, and then just go ahead and use the actual username that you see here and the password to log in, right? And that is going to log you in. Okay, so we have stepped through these processes now, or these steps here, and we are able to log into the UI. Okay, so this is the NiFi UI now, and then you can go ahead and now and start your process of connecting different systems and bringing data from one system to the other. So we are not going to go that process, but all you have to do is get a processor here and then select out of these processors what you need to bring, right? Okay, so if you say you want to I don't know, bring data from a database system, so you can maybe use execute SQL here, execute SQL, or you can search SQL. So there are a lot of operators here that you can use, and you just need to add here, go in there, and then do all of these properties, right? So you do need, like, this connection pool, for example, here is where now you have to set your connection to various databases. But I'm not going to do that here. Maybe in later videos I will get into the details of how to do that. Again, this is my first time using this NiFi tool. I've never used it before, and I'm just trying to get into this environment, how it works, and as I continue learning how to use this tool, I will be making more videos on how to use the tool moving forward. Again, this is what I do in this channel. Whenever I discover something new that I've never used before, I make a video, just for myself, as part of documentation, so that maybe down the road, if I forget, I at least made a video and I'll come back and refer to it. and also it's there to help you as well in case you are doing something similar and you're struggling on how to do it. Then hopefully this type of videos help you out. Okay, so at least up to this point we have successfully installed NiFi now, and then from there we can go ahead and use the tool. So if that's something that you were looking for, how to install NiFi and how to use it within your local machine, you know, that is the process of doing it. Again, you can download the installer here and then use the zip file, extract it into your local environment and do it, or you can use Homebrew the way I did it here, and then go ahead and log in, right? So that's pretty much what I had for you in this video. If you run into any issues trying to install it with Homebrew, do let me know. I most likely will make another video on how to use the installer, and we'll see how different that will be. Alright, so that's all I had for you in this video. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please give it a thumbs up, and also do subscribe to the channel if you want to see videos like this in future. Alright guys, I will see you then in the next video. Bye bye.